Welcome again. Myself, Dr. Meeraj, and I am the CEO of Talent Touchers, which is the partner institution for this conference. So we will be going ahead with the next session. Just very few quick observations which I have been making in the last few sessions. We had the talks from Professor Azim, then we had Professor Brandon, and then we had Dr. Robert, Professor Robert also. Something very interesting which I notice now, what Professor Robert has propounded, it's a completely new dimension. In what I understood, Professor, correct me if I am wrong, what Professor Robert is propounded is the enterprise in university, which is completely a novel concept in itself. Reason being that till now we know that the universities are mainly for two dimensions. One is the teaching, the other is the research. Now, it's completely revolutionizing concept that Professor Robert is coming up with, that enterprise in university, which means that actually it's not only that you are teaching or you are coming up with new research or ideas, it is now you are actually talking to implement it practically in the university instead of taking it to the industry, taking it to the government or to the other entities to commercialize it, to make it tangible. So we are looking towards the universities, which will be actually acting as maybe a business entity as well, which is really a great idea. Go ahead, and this will really solve a huge problem of the employment itself. I mean, where the fresh graduates are actually struggling. That once they are graduate, they are struggling either to get a job or to go to some business or start something. So if the university itself is taking the role of an enterprise, that will be really a revolutionizing concept. Thanks, Professor Robert, for giving us this great idea. And I feel that maybe your book will be elaborating more. And I really invite all of you to go ahead and at least have a look on the book. That will be really insightful. Thanks, ladies and gentlemen. Just to give you a quick run through about the conference. We will be holding 3 further sessions now. The first session where we are having 4 papers. I think the 2 papers in the first session, Professor Greg is with us. He will be telling us more about the noise pollution and specifically about medical science, right? So that is one. Then in the let me have a look about the agenda. This will be. So we have Professor Greg in the first session. Yeah, first paper presentation section. That is a session 2. Then we have Dr. Liga Janelain, right? If I'm pronouncing correct. And then we have Dr. Liga Prudnikova. Yeah, so sorry, I will take time to learn. So that is the second paper we have. Then we have the third paper from Dr. Rabia. I think she is still on the way. She will be joining us very soon. Then the fourth paper is from Dr. Rashid Jabouri. We'll be talking about a lot about, and he is actually an expert in artificial intelligence. So we will get a good insight from there. And then we have session 3, again, the physical session after the lunch. And then the fourth session, which is the online session, where we will be having the presenters on the online. So on this note, let me start and invite Mr. Wasim to start ahead with the paper presentation. And to conclude about my things, see, ladies and gentlemen, the point is that we are talking about the research. And the speaker before this, the professor, he mentioned something about that why the researchers are getting rejected. The professor is the chief editor-in-chief for the Management Science Journal, and he mentioned few things that why mostly the research papers get rejected. One of the major aspect which he mentioned was that either the language is not appropriate, or the methodology is too overwhelming, or maybe with loaded of information which is not relevant, or the worst part is that you need to put your research in a crisp manner. There was a slide where he was talking about that if someone asked you in a bus, can you explain about your research? So we should be able to explain it in 5 minutes in very simple words, right? So any research which is actually easy to understand and easy to adopt, that is the meaning. The challenge here is, and this is the challenge for Dr. Rakit also, which I will be talking about, something which she will be talking, I will be talking against, the AI. When we are using the AI, the artificial intelligence, what we say that today, the chat GPT, where we have to write research paper, just type it and it is done, right? The chat GPT or the AI, this is actually a challenge for we humans. And how we can mitigate it, it is only by being human. It's not that everything can be done by that. So we can use that AI in the research, but for a very, very limited area. AI cannot be creative at all. It will help you. It will be definitely taking all the things, but definitely that human touch is always. So that's why we have gathered here, just to see that how the research actually benefits us, and then how we have to take it further. Thank you all. Thanks to ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for all the speakers who are there, especially Professor Vasim, Professor